no matter how long you've been at Boeing, you never really get sick of those videos, so I have to, that's full disclosure here. And Jim, thank you so much for allowing me to come here tonight. I greatly appreciate it. It's my honor to kind of talk a little bit about the company, and then what I thought I would do is talk about where we are, where we've been, where we are, where we're going, and where I think how finances, the role of finance, the CFO has evolved and will continue to evolve in this, I'll say, some sort of challenging environment around global growth, regulation, and other complexities, and just how important our role is in that, and how I see that growing, and growing certainly within Boeing. I'll talk a little bit about the company here, as Jim talked about, and others. We had our 100-year birthday in last year, so it really gave us a chance to reflect on the first 100 years and the founders that frankly got us to the place that we are today. Something we don't take for granted by any means, and as you can see by the video, I got a little bit of help day in and day out that really make us proud. And we really think, we're at a point today where we're stronger, we're healthier, and we're more competitive than ever. Having said that, we're not standing still, and we've got a dynamic, competitive environment. So with that, let's go to the first slide here. Our company started by the name of the gentleman Bill Boeing in 1916. Bill was in Seattle, Washington in the timber business, and he had the opportunity to fly on an airplane. And the famous quote from that flight, or post that flight, was, I can build, we can build something better. And over the number of years, he got his pilot's license and built an airplane and flew it, and began those flights delivering mail in the first airplane called the B&W. In 1916, established the company from there. And he was the founder of our company and obviously changed the way all of us travel today. That mail delivery soon turned into an opportunity for the flight to return from Vancouver in Canada, and with an empty, I'll say, kind of storage area, and someone asked, could I fly in the back of there since it's empty because I need to get to Seattle? And he said, we don't fly passengers, we don't fly people in there, we put mail in there. And they asked, would you be willing to do it? And he said, sure. And that was the beginning of commercial airplane travel. And it's just the phenomenal, obviously, heritage that we have. And as we look today, we're obviously connecting people all around the globe. We're protecting the warfighter, and we sent the men and women into space, and really inspiring innovators and explorers here on Earth. So through the products and services, ingenuity, and really skill and talent of the generations of employees over the 100 years, we really have shaped the course of human history, and we believe, for the better. And I can tell you, we're all extremely proud of our legacy that we've inherited. And Boeing really has truly become a company that I think our founders today would be very proud of. And even nearly after 100 years, I said we're careful not to lose sight of that. We don't take it for granted, and it's a unique and historical, indispensable role our company plays in the global achievements. And we have a big responsibility, obviously, to uphold here as leaders. And the legacy of our founders and ourselves, as we think about, we are founders of the future of this incredible legacy as we think about the second century of aerospace leadership. So that 100-year birthday really allowed us to reflect on that and think about what this company is today, or where do we see it going. And I'll talk to you more about that and show you a little bit of the video of what potentially could be the future of some of our products and services. Let's go to the next slide, please. So our portfolio is rather diverse. Most of you probably know us as a commercial airplane company, and that is certainly a big segment of our company. But over the years of mergers and acquisitions, we have pulled together leadership in three major segments in particular around commercial airplanes, defense, space, and security, and a new division of services, and then, as Frank referred to, the Boeing Capital Corporation as well. Rich diversity, scale, provides unique advantages and allows us to deliver solutions really unmatched to our global competitors. And as Frank indicated, we are the largest aerospace company in the world. Every day, millions of people fly on more than 14,000 Boeing commercial airplanes in service around the globe. That's an important point. And that's around 70% of the world's population of commercial airplanes. Millions more depend on our satellites, and maybe some of you use those today to navigate your way here. And our uniformed men and women around the world count on our defense products to protect their lives every day, and the world counts on our innovations in space travel to explore the unknown depths of our universe. And I really provide this context because it's a form of foundation for us around what we do. And it's about connecting, it's about protecting, exploring, and inspiring. And it's a responsibility, again, we take serious, and it drives our team's sense of purpose. And it sets the baseline for which we continue to raise the bar in our performance each day, every day, in all of our businesses. Now, a little bit more on the businesses. Commercial airplanes, again, most of you probably know that as the iconic 7 Series family of airplanes with a new innovative product, the 787 Dreamliner, as well as the 777X and the new 737 MAX airplane. And that's about a $2.8 trillion market over the next 10 years. And passenger traffic continues to outgrow GDP, and we continue to see that across the globe. So very key market for us, and obviously a growing market that we want to continue our dominance in. Defense, space, and securities, that we build products like the F-18 Super Hornet fighter. You saw some of that in the video. Apache helicopter. We designed and built the space shuttle, and we deliver and maintain Air Force One. I hope that no one has a Twitter account here. If you do, let me know. And now we're pursuing limits of space exploration, space launch systems that will eventually take men and women to Mars. It's a $2.1 trillion market over the next 10 years, and we continue to see significant opportunities in that market space for our company globally over time. And then finally, our Global Services Division. It's a new division we've set up, and that will go live here in July, and that's really taking advantage of this large installed base that we have across the globe with our defense, space, security, and commercial customers, and providing comprehensive solution services to our customers around the globe. That is a $2.5 billion market, and over the next 10 years, and we have a very small percentage of that share. So with that installed base we have a real big take share plan. So it's a really great opportunity for us to grow our company and provide much better solutions to our customers. And then finally, global Boeing Capital Corporation. Again, we provide financing solutions to our customers, both on the defense, space, and security side of the business. Let's go to the next slide, please. Just take a little bit more into the enterprise. We are the largest exporter in the United States, with revenues last year of about $95 billion. And we're delivering products and services today to 150 countries around the globe. So you can see our founder, Bill Boeing. I know he had a vision. I'm not sure he had one this big and global. But we built on that foundation with $500 billion of backlog. That equates to about 7 years of production. And I would tell you that the single biggest thing driving that is the innovation that we have put into our products to provide customers with innovative solutions, low cost, fuel burn, operating costs, and so on. It's a very compelling economics that really drive a lot of this demand. On top of that, traffic growth. Traffic growth is averaging between 5 and 6% globally, and you have regions of the world like China, where 2% of the population have a passport. So their world of global travel is just beginning compared to ours. So it's a great opportunity for a company like ours to provide an innovative solution with our product lines. We employ about 150,000 people, 55 countries, or 65 countries, I'm sorry, 20,000 suppliers, and if you extend that, we employ about 1.2 million people in manufacturing of our products and delivering on our services. We maintain a focus on the legacy of innovation, as I discussed, technology development, and over the last 5 years, we've invested over $30 billion in future of research and development, capital investments, and really fueling progress in things like factory automation, data analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and the new products like the 787 and the facility down in South Carolina, as well as expanding our presence in Seattle in our the state-of-the-art composite wing center. At the same time, advancing materials in our business is a key element of our investments. And again, making more investments in things like all-electric satellites, autonomous vehicles, which you may have saw one there, underwater and in the air. So, as I mentioned, largest exporter, about 70% of what we do gets exported, close to 90% gets made here in the United States. And that's really, again, a strong foundation of the men and women you saw in this video that really give us an unprecedented opportunity with this marketplace that we believe can build an even bigger, better Boeing for the second century of aerospace. Let's talk about the vision a little bit more about where we're going. This is our enterprise vision. It's our purpose, values, really designed to inspire all of our employees and have alignment and understanding, a shared vision of where we want to go. And over the years, we've consistently aligned our efforts around the goal of being the biggest, best aerospace company in the world. And that goal remains. However, we have raised the bar in our expectations. And we're now setting it more towards an enduring global champion. And that's what we really mean by that is a top performer in all areas of our business. And it's a bold but achievable aspiration. And we know we've got the competition is fierce around the industrial peers, but for capital influence and for talent, it's just not enough now to be the best in aerospace. Our strategy really is underlined by three main elements. Operating as one Boeing, and you can see a competitive advantage working across our company between commercial platforms and defense. You saw some of that in the video, our P-8 surveillance aircraft, state-of-the-art surveillance 737 platform. That definitely gives us a competitive advantage that we'll continue to explore further. Strength on strength, really taking what we've done and what you've seen in that video, and how do we build on top of those technologies, leverage those investments as we move forward. And then finally, sharpening and accelerating, really delivering on the existing commitments, but winning in the marketplace, winning at pace, and being agile. And one of the biggest challenges of the second century is staying ahead of the competition, both in business, but at the same time, talent. We're getting draws on our talent today from non-traditional competitors. And so we're very mindful of that. So quite simply, we continue to need the best and brightest. And what you saw in the video today is just that. And we need to continue to embrace that, recruit it, and develop it. We'll talk more about that. So our aspirations are high. There's no question about that. The opportunity in front of us for the next decade is top quartile performance across the board. I think for a lot of us, what we like to say is after 100 years, we're just getting started. So we think the opportunities in front of us are really exciting. And I think for us as finance executives and professionals, we have the advantage of being the center of everything. So let me talk a little bit more about how I see our role has evolved and continues to evolve. I think for a lot of us in this room and outside this room in this profession, you've seen this evolve over time as a function, increasingly finding ourselves literally in the center of everything. And I think the business environment we're faced with today, and the one we're going to be faced with for many years to come, is more complex, it's more global, it's increased uncertainty, regulation is on the rise, and the competing dynamics are changing daily. And in response, I think the focus of CFOs and finance leaders on driving business strategy and business execution across the enterprise has also increased sharply. CEOs and boards, I believe, are counting on CFOs to be fact-based voices of reason, insight, helping navigate through these challenges, looking around those corners, understanding the risks, and protecting the enterprise at the same time, delivering results. And I think the importance of that tradition of what we do will always obviously be there, but there's no question it goes well beyond technical strength and compliance. It really goes to what we like to call a value integrator. And I think our expectations really will be around finding new solutions, getting to answers faster, being more agile, greater efficiency, commonality of our processes and controls within our systems, standard metrics, performance indicators across our enterprise, centers of excellence in finance. That is something that I don't think 10 years ago we really spent much time on. And ensuring we've got the right talent in the right place, considering that backdrop of complexities. That means a different skill set. That means you're recruiting differently. You're developing people differently. And I think the increased efficiencies that we're going to find, and what we need to find, are going to allow us to spend more time on business insight and enabling the business decisions across the business. And again, we are at the center of all of that. At the same time, our expectations, as I like to call it, chief risk officers, that environment that I referred to is more complex. And we have accountability, certainly, to help navigate a company, a function, a business, a contract, whatever it may be, to ensure we fully understand the risk the company's taking on and how do we mitigate that. Finance plays a key role in defining the company's strategy. And I know when I talk to a lot of my counterparts in various industries, CFOs are much more at the forefront of the strategy and strategy development, understanding the risks of the markets they may want to move into, and bottom line, how they're going to increase shareholder value for the company. And I think that's going to continue to evolve over time. And I have the benefit of having strategy and finance under the same umbrella. And that cohesiveness of that group and the working together and translating strategy into actionable, executable plans, I'm seeing that benefit of that day in and day out, but there's no question we can do better. I think the next, what I would like to do is just kind of talk a little bit more how I've taken this and translated that into, I'll say Boeing speak, is probably for lack of a better term, but we kind of broke these things down into really key elements that we hold our teams accountable for, and we really evolve around on a day-to-day basis. And first and foremost is responsibilities around driving business results. As a finance person in Boeing, you own business results. You own the plan, and you are a trusted advisor to the business leader. So in a way to do that, one way to do that, you need to understand the business. And certainly we've gone through multiple evolutions in Boeing, but as you can see, what we do is complex and large scale in some cases and highly technical. The best finance people, the best CFOs we have are people that really fully understand the products and services, how they come together, the risks, the contracts, the opportunities to help that program manager, help that business leader drive results, and at the same time understand the market dynamics that come with that. The next is protect and support the enterprise, and this is all about compliance. This is about continuously looking for opportunities to improve our controlled environment and taking personal responsibility and driving the right culture in the company around open and honest communications. And this obviously outweighs all of our other objectives. There's no trade-offs in our company when it comes to protecting the enterprise around compliance. Improving productivity. This is about being, best-in-class finance organization. And how do we do that? Utilizing tools like data analytics, machine learning, common processes and tools, centers of excellence. We're delivering services out of finance today, out of these centers that are at higher levels of performance and efficiency, lower cost, better service to our customer. So we're continuing on that journey. And then developing our team, and I talked a little bit about that, but the best finance team, we do that through obviously active recruiting, but we have a lot of rotational programs at all levels of our company, moving people from defense to commercial, to space and defense, from financial planning, into contracts, into accounting, obviously depending on their skill set, but really trying to round our people out and give them a full breadth of understanding and appreciation and knowledge base that they can take and grow in their career. This is intentional development. It's something that myself and our leadership team talk about monthly, about how we are taking responsibility of developing the 7,000 people in finance, how we're recruiting, how we're taking advantage of the folks that are retiring, have a tremendous amount of knowledge, and how do we bring that knowledge back into the earlier career folks so we can learn from our mistakes and from our successes. But again, developing our people continues to be a big focus area. And then last but not least, shaping the future, working and understanding what it's going to take to win the marketplace, not just today, but tomorrow, aligning that strategy to our decision making, and ultimately how does that, how do we beat the competition, how do we drive shareholder value, and really shape the outcomes of a lot of what you've seen there today. But there's that world's going to change, certainly over time, and we want to be at the forefront of that, just like we've been at the forefront of the last 100 years. So I think for us, again, being at the center of everything is exciting, it's challenging, it's rewarding, and I think for a lot of us at Boeing, we wouldn't have it any other way, because we really feel like we're part of the entire journey of a lot of things you saw out there today, and we obviously we take that serious. But having said that, we're always looking for opportunities to improve, and whether it's around risk management, around compliance, or driving better business results. But I think the one thing that our team has really spent a lot more time on is understanding the competition in the future. What's it going to take to compete in the next 100 years? It's going to be different than the first 100. And what type of skills, tools, processes, and culture do we need to do that? So again, building on what we've done and taking us into the second century of aerospace leadership. So speaking of the second century of aerospace leadership, I will just give you a little bit of a glimpse on some of the things that you may see us working on in the future. Thank you.
Welcome to the world, 2116. You can fly across town in minutes, or across the globe in under an hour. Whole communities are living on Mars, and solar satellites provide Earth with unlimited clean power. In less than a century, Boeing took the world from seaplanes to space planes, across the universe and beyond. And if you thought that was amazing, you just wait.